For decades, kids have been wheeling and dealing to get their hands on the rarest and shiniest Pokemon and baseball cards. And now many of those kids are adults. Collecting those cards becomes much more than a childhood interest. It can be a pretty lucrative hobby. Some Pokemon collectible cards are now going for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Good for business owners like Curtis Howson, who owns First Row Collectibles in the North End in Winnipeg, but it's also become a security problem for his business. That is the sound of security footage from his store, which shows two people breaking in last week. Thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards and other collectibles stolen. Curtis Howson is in studio now, joining us on the program. Welcome. Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You were listening to that, and I noticed you close your eyes. You kind of smirked your face. I mean, what were you thinking as you heard those sounds?
Oh, I just think, I just felt so violated. It's unfortunate because, we've been in that community now for 3 years, and I never thought I'd have to worry about anybody coming through the front door. We're on Main Street, and it's a very busy street. We fortified our back door so that we'd have to worry about anybody coming through the back door. But to get broken into at 12:15 Thursday morning, you don't think that's going to happen because there's so many cars that are out, and you don't think people are. It just didn't feel like anybody was going to be coming in through the front like that, and it was scary, And now,
how did you find out that this was happening and this had happened?
So we had a knock on the door from the Winnipeg police at about 1:30 a.m. and my wife just alerted me that my shop had got broken into. And so I hopped out of bed and was greeted by the officers at the door, and they told me, you had been broken into. And so I said, do you know how much has been taken? And the one officer had a really, his face was kind of telling me the story that, hey, just come down and take a look. And so I hopped in the car, picked up my son, and we were down there within 15 minutes. And to see the hole in the window and that we had been broken into, and the vandalization of our store as well. It was just, it's very heartbreaking.
So it wasn't just someone broke in and took a couple of things. It was someone broke in and rummaged through the place.
Absolutely, yeah. So they tried to kind of move a showcase, and in security footage you could kind of see it where I think they thought the case itself was a little heavier than it was. And so when trying to maneuver it, they pulled it right over. And actually, it turned out to be a good thing because there was a lot of very valuable cards in that showcase, and it prevented them from getting at those cards. But still, they still managed to grab thousands and thousands of dollars worth of sports cards in Pokemon.
What are we talking about here? Are we saying like $5,000-$10,000 or significantly more?
Well,
Or what's your sense of how much it all has cost?
I kind of underestimated it because today we had different people come out and give us quotes for our window. So the window itself would be about $3,000. It doubled that if I want to get rock glass, which is an unbreakable glass.
Right.
That might be the best option.
And that's just fixing the windows.
Just fixing the window.
So from the outside, and then you keep coming inside.
Right.
What else are you finding?
We'll need to add a shutter, which will be another $6,000. I found out today, and I was telling people that we could probably get that for $2,000, but I underestimated that big time. And then the product itself, we had estimated about $5,000. So it's in just 1 minute of chaos, it cost my business over $10,000. So just really heartbreaking stuff. We'll recover. We have a really good support system. We're in a really good community. I'm really fortunate to have a really good customer base and be in a community that supports us. So.
What are you hearing from them about after you started talking about this? What are you hearing from your customers?
That's just, it's just been so overwhelming with support, and I really, really appreciate that. The next day, I had people come down and help me clean up the shop so we could open it up. And the very next day,
did they say why they showed up to help you clean up?
Well, like I kind of built the shop how I wanted it to be. I want it to be very community based, and I wanted it to be a place where people can meet up and, kind of just talk about movies and music.
You get to
and
show
sports.
up and be nerdy about
right,
stuff.
Exactly. Just be nerdy about stuff, right? And kind of forget about our problems in life, and just share that nerd culture together. And in doing that, like we're able to build a very strong community that kind of just comes together and kind of helps each other. So that I'm very blessed in that way, that people that they see the value of First Row Collectibles and what we offer and the meeting place that it is. So they want to help out, and they feel it's theirs, because it is, and that's what I wanted it to be.
Have you ever had a theft like this?
It happened once, and it happened. They came in through the back door, and they stole a lot of. At that time, Pokemon was popular, but not as popular as it is now. So they stole a lot of hockey cards, and a lot of Jets cards, and a lot of your Wayne Gretzky's and whatnot. And we recovered. We fortified that back door, and like I said, I never thought in a million years that they'd coming through the front like that. Especially at that time, it's 12:15 at night. There's still cars going, up and down Main Street.
I know you can't read minds. What's your sense of why they might have broken in?
As crazy as this is, I'm very empathetical to why they did.
What do you mean?
I think it's it has a lot to do with rising costs and a lot of the addiction that's happening in our city right now. And I know people will find ways to make money, and Pokemon now, people are aware of how much that money, how much it's worth. So, unfortunately, there's things that people need to take care of, and sometimes theft is the way, and I hate that, because I don't want that ever to happen to anybody, especially me, and we're gonna take every precaution for it not to happen again. But I at the same time, I'm empathetical to it, and it sucks to say that.
I mean, where is this landing? You're talking about how this is something that's a pretty big deal for you, because money, time, effort, all those things. But you're also saying that it makes sense for you that this might be why this might be happening. Where is all of this landing for you?
It's right now. It's just I'm still trying to make sense of it all, and because I'm taking the approach that. Things will be all right, and I have to stay positive, and I know they will be. It'll take time, and it'll take money out of my pocket, but money comes and goes, and I know that we will. In the end, we're gonna be okay.
If the people who broke in might be listening, or people might know who they are, what message do you want them to hear from you? What do you want them to know?
I think just knowing that, as a small business, this really hurts. This really hurts. It's going to take us a long time to recover. This was our dream. This is my and my son's dream to own this business. So, just I hope that they're empathetical to us as we are to them, and understanding in their, maybe what they're going through.
Do you want them to bring them back? The things
absolutely,
that were stolen?
Absolutely, bring it back. We could figure this out. We could get them to work and to do these things together, and to come together as a community and help out and get this window replaced, right? So it'd be great. It'd be great for them to do that.
Do you think you'll get it back?
I think so. We're strong enough and small enough of a community when it comes to collectors that these things turn up, and especially like something that's like a graded card. There's serial numbers on it, and some of the things that were stolen are very unique to things that I only had. So I think it'll just come in time. I will get these things back.
Curtis, thank you for talking about this.
Anytime. Thank you very much for having me.
And I should ask you, do you have insurance? Are you able to manage these costs?
So with that, with the premiums, it doesn't make sense to claim it, to get the insurance claim. So right now, it just makes sense for me to pay out of pocket. And like with collectibles, it's kind of crazy, like all the things you got to jump through to get the money to do it. So I'm just we'll recover.
Curtis, thank you again.
Thank you.
Curtis Howson owns First Row Collectibles here in Winnipeg. You can hear more about this story on your CBC Winnipeg News, and of course on our website, cbc.ca/Manitoba.